Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, which is Explore Yourselves, Banking and General Knowledge, etc. The events of 5th November 2024 are follows. Bengali date 19 Kartik 1431. As per Benimadhav Sil Ponjika, today's Tithi is Shukla Chaturthi and up to 2135 hours, and after that Shukla Panchami. Today's Nakhotra is Jyeshta Nakhotra and up to 0833 hours, and after that Mula Nakhotra. Today is 310th day of the year. There are then 56 days left in 2024. Today is 45th Tuesday of 2024. Today is World Tsunami Awareness Day. World Tsunami Awareness Day is an annual event held on 5th November to raise awareness of the dangerous effects of tsunamis and the importance of tsunami preparedness and early warning of tsunamis. It was first established in 2015 by United Nations General Assembly Resolution 70/23. On this day, events are held in various countries and people are encouraged to spread awareness on social media. Tsunami awareness is very important as in the past 100 years there have been a total of 58 tsunamis with a combined death toll of over 260,000 people. Between 1998 and 2018, $200 million was lost due to tsunamis. There is a potential for tsunami death tolls to increase in the future due to the combined effects of population increase in coastal areas and the sea level rise. The official theme of World Tsunami Awareness Day 2022 is the Get to High Ground, which encourages people to practice tsunami evacuation plans with works organized in Portugal and Mauritius. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Chittaranjan Das, 5th November 1870 to 16th June 1925. Chittaranjan Das, popularly called Deshbandhu, friend of country or nation, was a Bengali freedom fighter, political activist and lawyer during the Indian independence movement and the political guru of Indian freedom fighter Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. He is the founder leader of the Swaraj Party in undivided Bengal during the period of British colonial rule in India. His name is abbreviated as C.R. Das. He was closely associated with a number of literary societies and wrote poems apart from numerous articles and essays. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Bipin Bihari Ganguly, 5th November 1887 to 14th January 1954. Bipin Bihari Ganguly was a prominent Indian freedom fighter and revolutionary associated with the Indian independence movement. He was a member of the Anushilon Samiti, a secret revolutionary organization in Bengal that opposed British rule through armed resistance. Ganguly played a key role in several revolutionary activities, including attempted attacks on British officials and other anti-colonial actions. Bipin Bihari Ganguly was later involved in the Indian National Congress, where he continued his contributions to India's independence through political means. His dedication to the nationalist cause saw him endure multiple imprisonments by the British. Despite these hardships, he remained steadfast in his commitments to India's freedom until it was achieved in 1947. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Michael Leonidas Dartojos, 5th November 1936 to 27th August 2001. Michael Leonidas Dartojos was a professor in the Department of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology (MIT) and director of the MIT Laboratory for Computer Science (LCS) from 1974 to 2001. Dartojos predicted the expansion of computer was very early and was one of the pioneers in many areas of technology. These included his contributions to the web, particularly through his visionary approach to ubiquitous computing. Today is death anniversary of Dr. Bhupen Hazarika, 8th September 1926 to 5th November 2011. Bhupen Hazarika, also known as the Bard of the Brahmaputra, after the river that runs through Assam, was a legendary singer, lyricist, music composer, scholar, artist, and above all a humanist who dared to dream of a classless society. Although fluent in Hindi and English, he wrote over 800 songs in Assamese, his mother tongue. His poetic soul ranked far and wide, from our independence on nature, history and politics to visionary rapture. His admirers were well aware that he was including them in his vision. Excluding none for a better world, he remains a source of inspiration for many who have heard his songs. Even now, a huge portion of his songs remain unknown to non-Assamese speaking people. It was only towards the end of his life that English translation of his songs started appearing in print. Today is death anniversary of Mr. Subroto Guho, 31st January 1946 to 5th November 2003. Subroto Guho pronunciation was an Indian cricketer who played in 4 test matches between 1967 and 1969. Guha was a medium-fast opening bowler. While he was a 20-year-old student at Calcutta University, he was largely responsible for inflicting the only defeat on the touring West Indians in 1966-67, when he took 4 for 64 and 7 for 49 for a combined Central and East Zones team. He was less successful on the subsequent tour of England, although he played in one of the tests. He also had little success in 3 tests against Australia in 1969 to 70. However, he continued to bowl successfully for Bengal in the Ranji Trophy with 209 wickets at an average of 14.61 and best figures of 7 for 18 against Assam in 1972-73. Guha worked for the State Bank of India. He and his wife Neelam married in 1971 and had 2 sons. One of their sons, Kunal, married the actress Netra Raghuraman. Guha died suddenly of a heart attack in November 2003, aged 57. Today is death anniversary of Mr. Christian Eyjacman, 11th August 1858 to 5th November 1930. Christian Eyjacman was a Dutch physician and professor of physiology whose demonstration that beriberi is caused by poor diet led to the discovery of antidiuretic vitamins. Together with Sir Frederick Hopkins, he received the Nobel Prize for Physiology or Medicine in 1929 for the discovery of vitamins. Today is death anniversary of Mr. Alexis Carrel, 28th June 1873 to 5th November 1944. Alexis Carrel was a French surgeon and biologist who spent most of his scientific career in the United States. He was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 1912 for pioneering vascular suturing techniques. He invented the first perfusion pump with Charles Lindbergh, opening the way to organ transplantation. Carrel was also a pioneer in tissue culture, transplantology and thoracic surgery. He is known for his leading role in implementing eugenic policies in Vichy, France. Today is birth anniversary of Professor Paul Sabatier, 5th November 1854 to 14th August 1941. Professor Paul Sabatier was a French chemist born in Carcassonne in 1912. Sabatier was awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry along with Victor Grigand. Sabatier was honored for his work improving the hydrogenation of organic species in the presence of metals. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Douglas C. North, 5th November 1920 to 23rd November 2015. Douglas Cecil North was an American economist known for his work in economic history. Along with Robert Faussel, he received the Nobel Memorial Prize in Economic Sciences in 1993. In the words of the Nobel Committee, North and Faussel renewed research in economic history by applying economic theory and quantitative methods in order to explain economic and institutional change. North was an influential figure in new institutional economics, which emphasizes the impact of institutions on economic behaviors and outcomes. North argued institutions provide the incentive structure of an economy. As that structure evolves, it shapes the direction of economic change towards growth, stagnation or decline. Rational and wealth maximizing individuals lack complete information and have difficulties monitoring and enforcing agreements. Institutions can provide information and reduce transaction costs, thus encouraging economic activity. Today, that is 5th November, highlight in history. 1605. Gunpowder plot. Guy Fawkes is arrested in the cellars of the Houses of Parliament, where he had planted gunpowder in an attempt to blow up the building and kill King James I of England. 1688. Prince William III of Orange lands with a Dutch fleet at Brixham to challenge the rule of King James II of England, James VII of Scotland. 1757. 7 Years' War. Frederick the Great defeats the allied armies of France and the Holy Roman Empire at the Battle of Rosbach. 1768. The Treaty of Fort Stanwix is signed, the purpose of which is to adjust the boundary line between Indian lands and white settlements set forth in the Royal Proclamation of 1763 in the 13 colonies. 1780. French-American forces under Colonel La Balme are defeated by Miami Chief Little Turtle. 1811. Salvadoran priest Jose Matias Delgado rings the bells of La Merced Church in San Salvador, calling for insurrection and launching the 1811 independence movement. 1828. Greek War of Independence. The French Morea expedition to recapture Morea, now the Peloponnese, ends when the last Ottoman forces depart the peninsula. 1834. Founding of the Free University of Brussels by Pierre Theodore Verhaegen. 1862. American Civil War. Abraham Lincoln removes George B. McClellan as commander of the Army of the Potomac. 1862. American Indian Wars in Minnesota. 303 Dakota warriors are found guilty of rape and murder of white and are sentenced to death. 38 are ultimately hanged and the others reprieved. 1872. Women's suffrage in the United States. In defiance of the law, suffragist Susan B. Anthony votes for the first time and is later fined $100. 1881. In New Zealand, 1600 armed volunteers and constabulary field forces led by Minister of Native Affairs John Bryce march on the pacifist Maori settlement of Porihaka, evicting towards of 2,000 residents and destroying the settlement in the context of the New Zealand land confiscations. 1895. George B. Selden is granted the first US patent for an automobile. 1898. Negres nationalists revolt against Spanish rule and established the short-lived Republic of Negros. 1911. After declaring war on the Ottoman Empire on September 29, 1911, Italy annexes Tripoli and Cyrenaica. 1912. Woodrow Wilson is elected the 28th President of the United States, defeating incumbent William Howard Taft. 1913. King Otto of Bavaria is deposed by his cousin Prince Regent Ludwig, who assumes the title Ludwig III. 1914. World War I. France and the British Empire declare war on the Ottoman Empire. 1916. The Kingdom of Poland is proclaimed by the Act of 5th November of the Emperors of Germany and Austria-Hungary. 1916. The Everett massacre takes place in Everett, Washington, as political differences lead to a shootout between the industrial workers of the Wall Organization and local police. 1917. Lenin calls for the October Revolution. 1917. Tikhon is elected the Patriarch of Moscow and the Russian Orthodox Church. 1925. Secret agent Sidney Reilly, the first super spy of the 20th century, is executed by the OGPU, the secret police of the Soviet Union. 1940. World War II. The British armed merchant cruiser HMS Jervis Bay is sunk by the German pocket battleship Admiral Speer. 1940. Franklin D. Roosevelt is the first and only President of the United States to be elected to a third term. 1943. World War II. Bombing of the Vatican. 1945. The three-day anti-Jewish riots in Tripolitania commence. 1950. Korean War. British and Australian forces from the 27th British Commonwealth Brigade successfully halted the advancing Chinese 117th Division during the Battle of Pakchon. 1955. After being destroyed in World War II, the rebuilt Vienna State Opera reopens with a performance of Beethoven's Fidelio. 1956. Suez Crisis. British and French paratroopers land in Egypt after a week-long bombing campaign. 1968. Richard Nixon is elected as 37th President of the United States. 1970. The Military Assistance Command Vietnam reports the lowest weekly American soldier death toll in 5 years. 1983. The Byford dolphin diving bell accident kills 5 and leaves 1 severely injured. 1986. USS Range, USS Reefs and USS Oldendorf visits Qingdao, China, the first USS naval visit to China since 1949. 1990. Rabbi Mir Kahane, founder of the far-right Kutch movement, is shot dead after a speech at the New York City Hotel. 1991. Tropical storm Thelma causes flash floods in the Philippine city of Ormoc, killing more than 4,900 people. 1995. Andre Dalanier attempts to assassinate Prime Minister Jean Chrétien of Canada. He is thrown when the Prime Minister's wife locks the door. 1996. Pakistani President Farooq Leghari dismisses the government of Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto and dissolves the National Assembly. 1996. Bill Clinton is re-elected President of the United States. 2006. Saddam Hussein, the former President of Iraq, and his co-defendants Barjan Ibrahim al-Tikriti and Awad Hamid al-Bandar are sentenced to death in the Al-Dujail trial for their roles in the 1982 massacre of 148 Shia Muslims. 2007. China's first lunar satellite Chang'e-1 goes into orbit around the moon. 2007. The Android mobile operating system is unveiled by Google. 2009. U.S. Army Major Nidal Hasan murders 13 and wounds 32 at Fort Hood, Texas in the deadliest mass shooting at a U.S. military installation. 2013. India launches the Mars Orbiter mission, the first interplanetary probe. 2015. An iron ore tailings dam burst in the Brazilian state of Minas Gerais, flooding a valley, causing mudslides in the nearby village of Bento Rodrigues and causing at least 17 deaths and 2 missing. 2015. Rona Ambrose takes over after Stephen Harper as the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada. 2017. Devin Patrick Kelly kills 26 and injures 22 in a church in Sutherland Springs, Texas. 2021. The Astroworld Festival crowd crash results in 10 deaths and 25 people being hospitalized. Thank you very much for your patience.